Do you remember when news broke about the possibility of oil in Jamaica? Do you remember the excitement for the potential financial gains amid concerns of possible exploitation? Well, in today's video, I will be doing a deep dive. I will be tracking the progress of oil exploration in Jamaica throughout the years, based on newspaper articles and other resources. I will end the video with the most recent developments and my thoughts. Did you know that 11 oil exploration wells were previously drilled in Jamaica? The first well was drilled in 1955 and the most recent was drilled in 1983. You see, it all began in 1924 when C.A. Matley, a geologist working with the government at the time, reported finding gas bubbles in a natural spring located in Windsor St. Anne. His paper was titled Report on a Mineral Spring at Windsor, St. Anne, and on the probability of the occurrence of petroleum in its neighborhood. But even with this hint of a probable oil find in this area, the first oil exploration well was not drilled here. It was drilled near Negril in 1955, because for some reason they could not gain access to the spring in Windsor. An exploration well was eventually drilled in Windsor, but 27 years later. It is currently the deepest onshore well drilled in Jamaica at a depth of 12,820 feet. Unfortunately, no commercial oil was found. Out of the 12 exploration wells previously drilled, 9 of which were completed onshore and 2 offshore, only one well did not contain hydrocarbons. Fast forward to 2014, when the most recent interest in oil exploration was reignited. In 2014, Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica (PCJ) entered into a production sharing agreement with Tullow Oil plc. In 2016, the article Local Oil and Gas Exploration Enters Second Phase, which was published in the Jamaican Gleaner, revealed that PCJ and Tullow Oil plc received approval from the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, to explore Jamaican waters and have entered into an agreement with the fisherfolk to offer compensation if there are any issues. Apparently, at this time, the company entered into its second phase, which included the use of data collecting equipment in an effort to locate the best area to begin drilling. They used the equipment to get a two-dimensional seismic image of the seabed. In 2018, PCJ revealed that they discovered 2 different live oil spills in sections of Trelawney. At the time, they were hoping to attract explorers who would use their resources to engage in additional seismic and field research to confirm that it's a viable prospect, then commence with drilling. In response to concern that exploitation may take place, Brian Richardson, manager of oil and gas at the PCJ, confirmed that any oil found would be developed jointly with the government of Jamaica. This was said in an interview on TVJ's Smile Jamaica. In the 2018 JIS article, Jamaica to Gain Much If Oil is Found, Winston Watson, general manager of PCJ, is quoted as saying, "We looked at models all over the world to determine the best model to use to ensure that the country benefits. We have chosen the model where we present data about Jamaica, and if you, an exploration company, want to take a chance, then we are willing to share the spoils with you, but you have to put up the money and take the risk." The model we have has the country retaining a percentage with the company that does the investment getting a certain amount. As the production increases over time, the ratio may change where Jamaica will get more of it and the company gets less after they have recovered their costs, he explains. In addition, Tullow Oil performed the first 3D seismic survey to be done offshore in Jamaica in 2018. It was done on the south coast of Jamaica between Petro Banks and Portland Cottage. While preliminary data analysis showed positive indicators, there was not yet scientific proof of oil or gas. To confirm, they would need to drill to find oil deposits. However, at this point, they said the decision to drill would be made based on what the results are after the detailed assessment of the data, which was to be completed by the end of September 2019 and final decision made by 2020. In May of 2019, the article No Oil Found in Jamaica was published as PCJ tried to rubbish claims made by a newspaper columnist that approximately 229 million barrels of oil and gas were discovered offshore. PCJ held the position that even though they have found positive indicators of oil, they are not yet able to confirm an oil find. In August of 2020, United Oil and Gas plc acquired Tullow Oil plc's license to operate Jamaica's Walton Morant oil fields. They previously acquired 20% equity in 2017 and received permission in 2020 from the government of Jamaica to acquire the remaining 80% equity. In addition, a comprehensive technical evaluation of Jamaica's oil potential was carried out by Gaffney Klein and Associates, a leading petroleum consulting company with head office in England. This independent assessment commissioned by United Oil and Gas plc concluded that Jamaica has what it describes as unrisked mean prospective resources of over 2.4 billion barrels of oil. What does that even mean? Well, my understanding is that they expect to be able to recover 2.4 billion barrels of oil in the event that oil is discovered in that area and eventually developed. This is based on 11 prospects and leads that have been identified and licensed to United Oil and Gas plc. They were quick to indicate that this, however, doesn't mean that drilling of the prospective sites will take place, and even if they do take place, it doesn't mean that it will be done promptly. However, the article later points out that the government allowed United Oil and Gas plc an extra 18 months to explore Jamaica's Walton Morant oil fields with the expectation that come January 2022, they will decide whether to drill or drop the project. So that was in 2020, now on to 2021. In May 2021, Darrell Vaz, the Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, confirmed that the exploration of oil and gas is still in progress. The May 19, 2021 article, Oil and Gas Exploration Continues, offered more information on the project. You see, the entire exploration project since they started in 2014 actually cost over $35 million. However, it is estimated that drilling an exploration well will cost anywhere from $30 million to $40 million. As such, United Oil and Gas plc is now conducting a worldwide marketing campaign to find an investor that will fund drilling of an exploratory oil well before January 2022 so they can drill by 2024. It's now February 2022. My research did not uncover any information as to where they are with the project at this time. Did they get an investor? Only time will tell. What are my thoughts? I believe that we need to assess the negative effects of oil and gas drilling and whether or not those effects are worth any type of financial gain. There are many countries that have paved the way in this arena, so we can use their experience as a guideline. The fact is, oil drilling can damage our marine ecosystems, destroy wildlife and their habitats, and release dangerous substances into the environment and dangerous emissions into the atmosphere. In addition, will the average Jamaican benefit financially from this find? Where does Jamaica get oil from? The Russia-Ukraine conflict is understandably causing concern across the world about the possibility of a pending food crisis and disruptions to the oil supply chain. Thankfully, at present, Jamaica has fixed contracts with Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, and Barbados to supply us with crude oil and the finished product. The contract periods vary for each country. For example, Barbados supplies us with approximately 60,000 barrels of crude oil every 2 months, while other contracts are yearly. Barbados' crude oil was previously refined by Petrotrin, a state-owned oil refinery located in Trinidad and Tobago, but in 2018 the company closed down. Therefore, in 2019, they signed a contract with Petrojam Limited, an oil refinery in Jamaica, to provide them with oil. Petrojam is Jamaica's only oil refinery. For some reason, I have not been able to access their website. However, according to this GIS article, Petrojam is a limited liability company jointly owned by PDV Caribe, a subsidiary of Petróleos de Venezuela, PDVSA, and the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, PCJ. The PCJ is a statutory body created and wholly owned by the government of Jamaica. In addition, between February 22 to 24 of this year, there was a Jamaica-Nigeria Joint Commission meeting where they discussed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU regarding oil and gas exploration arrangements between the two countries. They discussed the possibility of Nigeria supplying Jamaica with crude oil and providing technical support to help Jamaica to enhance its oil refinery operation. The world crisis emphasizes the need for energy conservation, not only so that as a household you can save money, but also as a country. And it also emphasizes the need for the creation of alternative energy sources. For example, in Jamaica, we do have Wigton Wind Farm, which is currently the largest wind farm facility in the English-speaking Caribbean. The company is in control of 3 farms. Wigton 1, which began operating in 2004 and is able to produce 20.7 megawatts, and Wigton 2, an 18 megawatt extension facility that was commissioned in 2010. They said 3, but I just counted 2. All of which are located in Rose Hill, Manchester. According to their website, the energy produced is able to reduce Jamaica's oil consumption by over 65,000 barrels annually. In addition, the energy produced is clean energy as opposed to energy produced by fossil fuels that cause the emission of greenhouse gases. Now I have a few questions for you. Do you think we should be moving more towards clean energy, or do you believe that we should also seek to find oil in Jamaica? And if we do find oil in Jamaica, should the focus be on building up the country's oil reserves so that we have enough if and when there is an emergency, or should we focus more on selling most of it to earn revenue for the country? For example, the USA currently has the largest known emergency oil supply in the world, known as the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, SPR. The oil is stored in salt caverns located underground in Texas and Louisiana. It has been reported recently that President Biden is thinking of tapping into those reserves because of the current world crisis. Now, let me know what you think in the comments. What is oil? This black gold that fuels our modern world has a very interesting origin. And in today's video, we are discussing just that. Plus, how to find oil, the extraction process, transportation, and all that good stuff. This video is a wonderful complement to the video where I tracked oil in Jamaica from 1924 to 2022. That video is linked below. Now, let's get into it. Often referred to as petroleum or crude, oil is made up of mostly hydrogen and carbon and is found deep beneath land or the ocean floor. Many years ago, as marine life such as microscopic plants and animals died, they sank to the ocean floor and eventually got lodged under sedimentary rocks. After millions of years of heat and pressure, a number of chemical reactions took place that gradually formed this black gold. Over the years, the intense pressure then caused the liquid or gas to squeeze into the spaces within the rocks. This accumulation of oil in the pores of underground rocks is called a reservoir. Sometimes the oil will seep to the surface to form what is called a natural oil seep. Plate tectonics determine where oil reservoirs are found, and because the Earth's crust is always moving and shifting, oil can be found anywhere in the world, even far from where it originated. Geologists use different methods to find oil and gas. For example, seismic surveys. Remember in my last video on oil exploration in Jamaica, I mentioned that they did 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional seismic images of the seabed? Well, this is probably how it was done. Seismic surveys incorporate the use of sound waves to create an image, similar to what bats do and what doctors use for ultrasounds. For seismic surveys, they may use a vibrating pad under a truck to find oil on land, or a special equipment on ships that emits sound waves to find oil under the ocean floor. When these waves meet resistance under the earth, they create an echo that reflects back this information to seismometers that record said information. For example, they record the speed of waves. Then geophysicists use a computer to help them analyze the information and generate a 3D image of the rock structures beneath, which geologists then use to find oil reservoirs. Now, once oil has been discovered, how do they extract it? It's extracted by drilling a well and through the process of hydraulic fracturing, often referred to as fracking. A well is drilled vertically until it gets to 2,500 to 3,000 meters or 1,000 feet above the area where the oil is trapped, at which point they begin drilling horizontally through the shale rock for about 1.5 kilometers. A perforating gun is then fired to create inch-long holes in the layer of rocks. Then, fracking fluid, made of mostly water and sand and a few chemicals, is released into the holes previously drilled. It is released at such a high pressure that it creates fractures in the shale rock, which inevitably releases the trapped oil or gas. Once extracted, it is then transported via ship, rail, truck, or pipeline to a refinery, which turns it into useful products like gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, asphalt, kerosene, just to name a few. Can you list below some of the other products made from oil? Now, even though wells are usually covered with steel and cement to prevent leakage into our water supply, accidents can and do occur. And if and when this happens, our water will be contaminated with toxic chemicals. The fracking process may also cause the release of methane, which is several times more potent than carbon dioxide. In addition, there are concerns that fracking may cause earthquakes. Did you learn anything new today? What are your thoughts on fracking? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. As we learned in that video, in August of 2020, United Oil and Gas plc, the company currently leading oil exploration in Jamaica, acquired Tullow Oil plc's license to operate Jamaica's Walton Morant oil field, which stretches across approximately 22,400 square kilometers. The proposed deadline for them to decide whether or not to proceed with drilling was extended to January 2024. They call this the drill or drop decision. So this is when they will be required to decide whether or not they will proceed with drilling or they will drop the license. In the meantime, they are still seeking a drilling partner. Why do they need a partner, you ask? Well, there are a number of reasons. For example, a partner may provide an added level of expertise and, of course, additional funding for the project. In 2021, the company spent approximately 135 million Jamaican dollars or US $900,000 in an effort to find oil off the shores of Jamaica, specifically in the Walton Morant Basin off the island's south coast. This was more than the US $800,000 that was spent in 2020. And though this may seem like a lot of money, when you take into account the cost to actually drill an oil well, it's actually minimal. Drilling an oil well could cost millions of US dollars. The company doesn't only operate in Jamaica, they have oil reserves in the UK and Egypt that have proven quite profitable. In 2020, they earned a profit of US $852,000, which increased in 2021 to US $4.1 million. According to this article, the increase in profit was not only attributed to an increase in oil production, but also an increase in oil prices. With the recent increases in oil prices this year, 2022, they may do even better. So far, their investment in Jamaica is valued at over US $4 million. They still expect to be able to recover 2.4 billion barrels of oil in the event that oil is discovered in that area and eventually developed. This estimate is based on 11 prospects and leads that have been identified and verified by independent consultants like Gaffney Klein and Associates. Welcome back to Artsy Island Girl Jamaican Vlogs. I'm Artsy. Today I want to share with you an update on Jamaica's oil exploration. In this video, we'll be discussing the latest developments as of 2023. This is our bonus video for this week. Remember, we meet here every Sunday at 11 a.m. and talk about developments taking place in Montego Bay, Jamaica, and across the world. If you enjoy these types of videos, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Now, let's get into it. Energy Advisors Group EAG has been enlisted by United Oil and Gas to assist in the search for a buyer for a portion of their stake in the Walton Morant license. This offshore area in Jamaica spans more than 5.5 million acres and offers promising opportunities for oil and gas exploration. As part of the deal, a test well needs to be drilled by January 2024, with a drill or drop decision also to be made by that time, and drilling required by January 2026. Despite the project's potential, there has been a hold-up in finding an investor. But recent research suggests there are several prospects reviewing the offer presently. On their website, they draw attention to a few positive features of the investment opportunity, such as appealing fiscal terms, backing from the Jamaican government, and the readiness of the drilling prospect. They also listed the positive indicators that suggest the presence of oil is highly probable. It is believed that the area has the potential to yield over 2 billion barrels of recoverable resources, representing a lucrative investment prospect for the right buyer. And as indicated on their website, this is a world-class opportunity to unlock a new basin in close proximity to the Gulf of Mexico, with the initial 11 prospects and leads yielding mean resources of more than 2.3 billion barrels as audited by Gaffney Klein and Associates. Jamaica parallels active exploration in the Caribbean region in Honduras, Hispaniola, and taps the proven regional Upper Cretaceous source driving Trinidad and Tobago. The consultant has provided an estimated cost of US $30 million for the construction of a test well, making a significant milestone in the project's progress. If you talk to Jamaicans about the possibility of finding oil in Jamaica, you will be met with a variety of responses, ranging from outright dismissal of the possibility of ever finding oil in Jamaica to unbridled excitement. There are varying opinions regarding the possibility of Jamaica having enough landmass or proximity to other landmasses for a sufficient accumulation of oil in the area. The comments on my initial video on this topic demonstrate that many Jamaicans are wary about the government's ability to manage an oil discovery. citing corruption as a potential obstacle. Furthermore, there are concerns about the potential environmental impact of such a discovery, with examples of how bauxite mining has affected nearby communities over the years. Despite the concerns, many Jamaicans view this as an opportunity for the country to grow financially. What do you think? Do you believe there's oil in Jamaica? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to check out our Oil in Jamaica playlist for more information on this topic. I've been tracking oil in Jamaica since February of 2022. Here's the first video I did if you want to learn more. This is actually the best performing video on my channel so far, so you can check it out if you want to. I've also created a playlist of all the videos on oil exploration in Jamaica and the relevant updates. I may even do a compilation of all the videos I've done so far and place them in one video for easy access. Now, in our last update, we learned that a new consultant, Energy Advisors Group, EAG, was hired by United Oil and Gas PLC to help them find a drilling partner to explore for oil in Jamaica and share a portion of their stake in their Walton Morant license. This offshore area in Jamaica spans more than 5.5 million acres and offers promising opportunities for oil and gas exploration. As a part of the deal, a test well needs to be drilled by January 2024, and a drill or drop decision also needs to be made by that time, with drilling required by January 2026. EAG has put a price of US $30 million on drilling this test well. It's the end of October, so we're coming close to that deadline of January 2024. Do you think that they'll make it? In September of this year, it was shared that Jonathan Leather, the COO of United Oil and Gas, Chief Operating Officer of United Oil and Gas, had resigned. And when I first read that, I was wondering if this is a good or bad sign. But then we learned that he would still be supporting the project as a consultant. He is a geologist and a veteran in the industry, so their ability to continue relying on his expertise should be beneficial. The latest news is that several weeks from now, United Oil and Gas may be able to share their drilling partner. Apparently, they are currently in discussions with possible partners, and the decision may be finalized soon. They're expecting to have discussions about the commercial transactions and business dealings with a preferred partner in the fourth quarter. Once they have selected the farming partner, Jamaica's Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, that's a long name for a ministry, would have to offer certification for them to operate. And then the drilling can commence, I guess. Now, the possibility of oil being found in Jamaica has prompted a heated discussion among Jamaicans, with some people being excited at the possibility of finding oil in Jamaica, while a majority of the commenters on my first video on the topic were wary of the consequences, with some citing environmental concerns, others worried that it might cause or increase corruption in the country. Even people from other countries share their 2 cents. Now, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below.